Hi everyone, I am Beth and this is another Take and Make program from Willard Library. So first let's give a shout out to Miss Jenny, who is our Makerspace librarian. She has done such a wonderful job of reinventing this program so that you can actually do it at home. We love to have all of our people come in the building and do these kinds of things, and we really love to have our studio downtown at Willard open so we can do all kinds of crafting. And that's just not in the cards for us. But you know, a lot of us are spending time at home lately and we need stuff to do. We're going crafting crazy, right? So Jenny has given us yet another super cool idea this week. And this is tassel keychains. So I don't know about you, but at my house, we have a bowl and we toss all of our keys. And if our kids are home for the weekend, we could have 4 or 5 sets of keys, depending on if any friends or more, all thrown in that bowl. And then I end up doing that dig and scramble to find mine. And I'm usually running late when I have to dig and scramble. So I thought this was a super cute idea and an easy way to be able to locate those things. So I grabbed my craft bag from out at the Helen Warner Branch, which is where I work most of the time. And let's unpack and see what we've got here. I'm going to turn our camera down so you can take a look at the goodies while I'm looking at them. All right, so first I'm going to take this and just set it aside. We're not going to need that for any of our crafting today. Jenny gave us an instruction sheet, all pictures. So if you're a words person, you are so in trouble. You're going to have to listen to the sound of my voice. We have our piece of cardboard, which is going to be super important for this craft. We have a short piece of yarn. Let me untangle that. So it's probably a foot or so. Let me measure that so that we'll know for sure. It's roughly, probably if I stretched it out tight, it would be about 26 inches. So I would say anywhere from 24 to 26 inches is going to be just fine. And you might not need all of it as you do this at home and maybe with your own materials. Here is a little thread. It looks like embroidery floss. But if you didn't grab a kit, if you didn't grab a kit, and you don't have an embroidery floss hanging around, just get like the thinnest string you can find. I know that if I really dug around, I could find a replacement for that. I've got stuff everywhere. So let's go on with the rest of it. Now we have a long piece of yarn. I'm going to unwind this because maybe in your travels like mine, it might have gotten crushed a little bit in the bottom of my work bag. Oh, a little bit. But really, it's not really all that much of a mess. I don't have any tangles, so I'm just going to carefully set that here to the side. Okay, and then the last thing are the pretties. I always love that part. I've got some wooden beads here. 2 different sizes. No, all one size. Some of the kits have varying sizes, so that'll just depend. And this little keychain with a chain already on it. So to show you some variations, we've made them 2 ways. The first is exactly like in all of our pictures, right? We've got I'm gonna lay it down on my table. Things show up so good against that black background. So we've got our key ring, our beads, and our pull. Now, just to show you, you can do them any old way you want. There's no right, there's no wrong, because I don't like everyone to feel like you have to do everything cookie cutter. This time we shorted it, and we do have smaller beads here, 2 sizes, kept that key ring and the cute little dainty chain. And if you notice, our tassels are not the same length. And you know what? That's okay, because no 2 things are ever alike. Now, I like this one for the like pull on your jacket or maybe a backpack, and of course tassel for your keychain always. This one I probably would not use on that backpack just because I would be afraid that continued pulling would weaken this chain over time. And also on my zipper, I tend to kind of yank on stuff. So I would probably take it off, but for something cute and decorative, or even attach it to your purse, that would be cute. So there's that. So now let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is locate an end of my yarn. And I'm just going to kind of unwind it and let it drape over my table. So I found my end. And I'm going to take my cardboard and set it so that it matches up pretty close to the bottom here. Let me turn it around so you can see. So it's pretty close to the bottom. So turn it back to me and I'll give you your view each time. So here's my string and I'm going to lay it like right across the top of the card. You could have it right on top of it, right at the top. There's no wrong. And because I am right-handed, I'm going to grab this up with my left hand and pinch it like so. So I'm holding the yarn and my string. And then I'm just going to wind my yarn, get this yarn over here where I can use it a little easier, right around this cardboard. Now this little string's going to want to get in there and get a little tangled. Just pull it out of there, like so. Okay. Ooh, I'm twisting and turning over here. Okay, you got this part. I'm going to come over here and wind it really fast so we can get on to the next. Oh, and see, look, this yarn is a little booger because it'll tangle up on you. So you just got to keep an eye on it the whole time. Okay, so I feel like I have enough on there that when I started winding it, the string wasn't going to catch so bad that I couldn't pull it out. So at a certain point, I just kind of let it go. And then you end up with your string. And I'll lay it down so you can see. So you've got your string going through, attached to your cardboard, and your yarn wound around it. And now I'm going to pull it up like so, and I'm going to tie it off. Tie it off again. I like to do 3 knots. I don't know why. Feels like a good number to me. If you're comfortable with 1 or 2, go ahead. I don't know. We used to double tie all our kids' shoes. Now I feel like double's not enough. I want this to last and not come apart. Okay, so now I've gotten my knots. I've gotten my yarn. Everything's ready to go. And now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to clip this off. Now, I did try to use kitchen shears and I found mine are not very sharp. So I either need to look into how do I sharpen these or I need new shears. So I did go and grab some sewing shears that I have in the basement. Sorry, guys. I really wanted to be able to show you how easy this was to do and just use any old scissors. Yep, that's not going to work. It could be because our yarn is super thick. It's a really nice yarn. And maybe the stuff that you have at home, I know some of the yarn I've crafted with is not as heavy as this. And those shears do cut through it. So maybe test on a little piece before you get down to it, and then you'll know what you need to dig around for. So I just slid my scissors all the way in there, and I'm coming down to the end, and because they're sewing shears, I can cut right through like that. And I don't really think I'll need to trim much. So now I'm going to pull my cardboard aside, and we're done with that for now. Very nice. Okay, let me grab my tape, which I left off my table. Alrighty, and now with the tape, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make a needle so I can thread my beads on there. So far, so good. We've done this part, and we're here. And we have cut everything loose. So next, I'll take my short piece of yarn. Remember this guy? And I'm going to decide, turn it so it's facing you guys. I'm going to decide where I want to tie it off. And I think for me, I'm going to do it pretty close to the top. I want like a short little poof at the top. Now see if I can hold it straight while I tie it. That'll be the question. So I'm just going to tie a simple knot. And I'm going to pull it down tight as I can. Put my finger there so I can do a double knot. Should I do triple? I don't know. I'm in the 3 zone. Why not? Let's three-peat it and do it again. So I'm going to do one more knot just to make sure. Good. Now you can then wrap this around any way you would like. I kind of do a loop around and I take turns each side. So loop around and pull it tight and hold it. Loop around, pull it tight and hold it. So it's really making a mark there where our tassels will kind of flow from. Okay, I am good with that. If you want to go and you want to make it thicker, by all means, you just keep on wrapping. I'm just going to tie this off. 3 quick little knots again. And then I'm going to get in here really close to my knot. Let's see, how do I turn this so you can see it? So I'm going to come in here close to my knot. No good way, is there? Oh, this way. And I'm going to trim that down. So there are those 2 crazy ends. So again, I'm going to come in close to where I did it and clip that off. Ooh, we're making progress. Okay, here's that needle part I told you about. So I'm just going to take a little piece of Scotch or masking tape. You could use Scotch tape if you needed to. That's what I actually did the first time I tried it. I made one that was a little bit different from Miss Jenny's. So basically the rule of thumb is, what do you have at home? What will work for you? And I'm just twisting this down really small because I've got to be able to fit it through those beads. And actually Scotch tape might be a little easier because it's thin. Okay, so here we are. It's time to get out our beads. And I think I'm just going to do 2 of them. And I'm going to need this guy too in a minute. So I'm going to pull this through. And I'm going to pull this one through. You know what? Forget it. Let's do go big or go home, right? Let's do all 3 beads. So we've got that. And then because I want it to be super strong, I'm just going to grab some pliers. And I'm going to hold this part with the pliers. And then I'm going to hold on the other side and twist just so that this little piece opens. Because I want to take off that little chain. So let's dump that back in here. And now I'm going to take my little thread and needle and wind my ring on there. And I'm going to push it back through my beads. There we go. Now I'm going to cut off my tape here on the end. Did I get it? Not yet. And I'm going to take my ends and make tight little knots to hold all of this on. Oh, and my floss here is fraying, so that adds a challenge. I always love a challenge. And then once again, I'm going to come in close to where these little beads are here, and I'm just going to nip those ends. So then take a look at it, see what you think. Now, ooh, I just pulled on it too hard. And I pulled it right off of there. Don't you hate that? Okay, that's all right. We can fix this. I'm going to modify because you know what? That's what crafting's about. No one else knows what you intended it to look like. So we're going to make this work. Because now my string is too short and I don't think I have an extra. There we are. Well, isn't that life, right? We always have to make accommodations. Things don't always go as planned. So now, if I had another bead at home, I would probably add a bead to this or maybe change out my string. But the gist of it is that we've made a super cute little decoration for a piece of clothing, for a purse or a bag, for a backpack, for your keychain, anything you want to do with it. And crafting is a form of art. So sometimes things just don't turn out the way you originally thought. No one ever plans to have their string break when they're doing a video program, a virtual program. And yet, that's in fact what happened. So at the end of the day, crafting is art, right? I'm making art. I'm making it to the best of my ability. And sometimes my abilities don't quite add up to other times. And that's okay. I've got more yarn. I'm going to go dig around and get some more beads. I'm going to make a few more of these. A great idea for a stocking stuffer for your kiddos, for that friend who likes a personalized gift, has a favorite color no one can ever find, anything like that. I do have some friends and some people that come into the library that color code everybody's stuff in the house, like your name on the calendar, and your clothing is usually this color, or if I buy you a bag. So this would be a fun craft to do with that. Anyway, don't let your failures define you. Have fun. Try something new. Miss Jenny's got lots of ideas coming up. As a matter of fact, I want to make sure you know that in 2 more weeks on the 26th, she has some vinyl craft stuff. So if you've ever played with a Cricut or a Silhouette or wondered how do they do those vinyl crafts, that's what we'll be doing that time. So it's a great decor for a pumpkin, very timely this time of year. And I like to celebrate Thanksgiving and decorate for that. So I think it's a perfect time to do that too. Not everything pumpkin ends at Halloween because not all of us do Halloween, right? So the 26th, we'll be doing vinyl crafting. We're going to do it. We at the library are going to do it with pumpkins, but I'd encourage you to kind of expand your horizons. If you're not a pumpkin person, if you don't want to buy a fake pumpkin to be able to keep year to year, if you don't like setting them out, don't have the space for it, but like to decorate inside, you can find great wooden pieces at any of your craft stores. We've got 3 craft stores in town. Any sort of decorative board or wall hanging, you can attach the vinyl to that too. So I hope you've had a great day crafting and creating with me today. Please go out and have a great evening and have an even better tomorrow. We'll see you soon.